Hi everyone. I want to put together a quick video just to discuss something that I've been talking about on my Facebook group, and I thought maybe some of you would also find it interesting. It's not really too deep, pretty easy to understand, but basically it's regarding some of the comments that Forrest has made in the past. A friend of mine who is not a searcher suggested something to me this week, and we were talking about where Forrest said, one of the biggest clues of all is don't look for the treasure any place where a 79 or 80-year-old man could not have taken it. Okay? He said that multiple times, multiple different ways, but we've all heard it. And usually what we assume he's talking about is he's trying to keep us safe. He's telling you, look, don't go 5 miles out in the woods because an 80-year-old man is not going to do that. Now, yes, I know that there are some old people who can. Forrest may even be one of them that can go out miles, and he loves going off the paths. But he has told us constantly to not go where a 79-year-old 80-year-old man would go. He's also discussed bringing children with you on the chase. He's saying that children would be helpful. How would they be helpful? Well, they got better eyesight. They're more agile. Okay? He didn't elaborate on it much more than that, but basically he's telling you to go to a place that he hid the thing, basically, at an area that's safe for children and seniors. So now many people, I think, would agree with me that the chest is probably within, let's say, 2,000 feet of where you would park your car. A lot of places, including lakes and overlooks and areas where you would go, a fishing hole and so on and so forth, you park your car, you walk maybe 1,000 feet down some kind of a trail, and you get to the place. I don't know whether it's an overlook or wherever you're going or a fishing hole. Let's call it the place. Well, I believe that the chest is within 500 feet of that place. That might be how he knows why non-searchers have been within 500 feet of the treasure, because he knows that the treasure is within 500 feet of something that people routinely go to. Now, he also said searchers were within 200 feet. Well, that means the searcher was at that same spot, but they were 300 feet closer. Maybe they wandered 300 feet away. Now, he also said they didn't know why they were there, so they weren't looking for the chest. Maybe there was something there, some rock, who knows, or maybe another overlook or something. They walked to that one that less people go to, and they told Forrest they were there. That's how he knows. So basically, I don't think the chest is more than maybe 700 feet away from a spot. Now, my friend brought up an interesting point, okay? What if we should, when he says things like that, don't go where an 80-year-old man wouldn't go with the chest, maybe he's not just only saying that to warn us, but he's directing us to go to a spot that old people do go to. Maybe, why else would he say that this is a big clue, that a lot of people overlook? And I mean, those are his words. You can search it on Terry Scant. You can see it on the internet. He says a lot of people overlook this. And I think he's talking about people traversing into the woods, stuff like that, 5 miles, 2-3 miles, and there's no way, the average 80-year-old would do that. So maybe what he's trying to tell us is focus only on places that seniors and children would probably go in the Rockies. And that would let you cut out a lot of stuff. I'm going to give you an example that my friend gave me. Now, we're not talking about handicapped people, but let's say that I hid something in a huge parking lot, okay? And then I told you as one of the big clues, don't go where a handicapped person would not go. Didn't I just kind of give you a hint there that if you eliminate all of the parking spots except for the handicapped spots, that's likely the most likely place where it is? So we went from a huge parking lot, thousands of parking spots, down to only, a handful of handicapped spots. I wanted to discuss that in my Facebook group, so I posted. Of course, some people are joking around. Where, the nursing homes? I don't mean the nursing homes. I mean, places like museums, special attractions, stuff like that, Somebody had brought it up to me, well, if it's within 500 feet of where a lot of people go, then what about if when he wanted to, throw himself on top of the chest and die there? Wouldn't people have smell? And, and the answer to that is no. 500 feet, you ain't going to smell anything. An animal would, but a human, nope. And I'll give you, there's a lot of examples of this, but let me give you a recent example in Florida. I forgot what the heck the chick's name was, but she killed her daughter in Florida, and then she took her daughter and threw the corpse in the woods 50 feet off of a street that she lived on in the woods, okay? I don't remember how long the thing sat there, but certainly it was there long enough to decompose. Now, people driving up and down that road, people walking along that road, mailmen, whatever, construction workers, children, nobody ever found it. And it was only 50 feet in. So there's a perfect real life example of something hidden almost, within reaching distance, and nobody's seen it. I think the point is moot because Forrest didn't do that, and he's not going to do that. He's not going to die where the chest is. So it really doesn't matter. I think something could even be within 200 feet and you wouldn't know it. I mean, think about that. Your neighbor 2 houses away is roughly 200 feet away. Are you going to smell something over there? A dead carcass, a deer, or something like that? Probably not, Maybe if you have a really good nose. I don't know, The animals will smell it, but he's got to deal with that problem no matter where you put it. Unless maybe he used a proxy, like I suggested in my other video. Okay? He goes out and he buys a small piece of property in New Mexico in the middle of nowhere, and he buries the chest, okay? And then he goes and dies on top of that chest. Now, before he killed himself, inside of a proxy item, he put the title to the gold, which gives you access to the chest, okay? And gives you rights to get to that place where the chest is. And then he hides that 600 miles away within an area that people go within 500 feet. So now he could still say, I throw myself on top of that chest and go to dirt, and leave my bones, and nobody's going to happen upon that chest. But yet, when you follow the clues in the poem, you're going to be within 500 feet of the final clue, which he has also said you need to be on site to solve. Poem still led you to the chest. It's just that it gave you the title first, and then the title got you to the chest. Maybe we're looking into it too much. We should be looking at places in the Rockies specifically where the elderly and children would go. And I don't mean nursing homes. I mean, this is a question that people frequently ask. I found that on the internet, people are asking on TripAdvisor, what are good trails, places I could go and bring, my grandparents or what have you, and children, okay? So let's see some examples of that, okay? Where would old people go? Well, they're going to go to a major site, but they're not going to go far off path. They're going to go to geysers. They're going to go to scenic overlooks. They're going to go to places in national forests and stuff. They're going to go to major attractions, like old western towns, such as the one that's near Cody, Wyoming. I forgot the name of it offhand, but it's just west of Cody. And it's an old town. It's got old buildings and old stuff there they could go see. Well, that's children safe. That's old people safe. It's also private property, but, I mean, who says it's not hidden 500 feet outside the border of that place, right? Okay, so we got historical locations in national forests. I don't believe that it's in a national park, but some do. Maybe it is. Maybe it's near a historical location. Like, what if the home of Brown is where the artist named Brown painted the falls in Yellowstone, which happens to be right near where the picture of Skippy was taken in Thrill of the Chase. Right there at that overlook. You could see the spot in my other video. Or memorials. There's memorials out there in various places. There's museums. There's also reenactments. Like Forrest even said in Too Far to Walk, he likes going to the places where they reenact what the fur traders used to do when they would go and set up every year and sell their stuff. I can't think of the word. It starts with R. But anyway, it could be one of those. It could be an RV camp or a cabin. It could be right near that. These are all places where you're likely to find seniors going. In fact, the Gypsy Magic story. he's talking about, vehicles with rubber tires. And I know, yes, they did have horse-drawn carriages that had rubber tires, but maybe he's talking about RVs. Okay, people go to RV camps. What do? They gather around the fire. They sing. They roast marshmallows. Okay, they play music. So maybe the gypsy story is just all made up, and the chest is at a pretty well-known campground somewhere, either in a national forest or even in a national park, where seniors would go. Again, he's trying to direct us to where would the seniors go? Where would you find a 79 or an 80-year-old? Anyway, let me know what you think. Let me know if you have anything else to say about it, or if you want to discuss any of the other quotes that Forrest said out there. But maybe it's time we take a look at these quotes and really, really look at them. So have a great day, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.